decided to swap the comforts of our regular studio for this lowly stable in the middle of Bethlehem.
That's right, because not long ago something happened right here on this very spot that will change all our lives forever.
Who could possibly forget the miraculous event when Jesus was born in this very stable?
Tonight, we'll remind you of the unraveling of that night.
To help us celebrate Jesus' birth and the hope and love he brings to all of us, we are joined by an exciting lineup of celebrities all ready to dance for us.
But first, there are 3 people who are dancers who must impress. Let's meet our judges!
Show, or at least he carried Mary all the way to the stable. It's the donkey! No stranger to a full house, she's a hostess with the mostest. Please welcome the innkeeper's wife. And finally, some say he has more senses than there's sense. The Roman everyone loves to hate. It's Caesar Augustus.
For the story that will make history.
The one we will all be talking about for 1,000 years to come.
Make some noise and raise the roof for the stars of light. Camels, action!
Let's take our story right back to the very beginning and talk to the townsfolk of Nazareth.
It's been an incredible time for us all, but in case anyone out there has been asleep, can you remind us how it actually began?
Yesterday, we were all minding our own business in Nazareth when Caesar over there sent out one of his famous decrees.
Well, we all know about those, don't we?
And what did it say?
We were all told that we had to travel to the place of our birth to register for our census. Isn't that right? That's right, to the place of our birth. Of course, he couldn't have just been born down the road, could he? Oh no, 168 miles we had to travel. 168 miles. We played havoc with my bunions, I can tell you.
168 miles. Wow, that is a long journey.
It was, and wasn't easy either. And there were all sorts of people on the road, all walks of life. I saw one woman who was heavily pregnant. I remember telling my husband I wouldn't like to be traveling all that way, expecting a baby. Isn't that what I said? You did. You said you wouldn't like to be traveling all that way, expecting a baby.
Well, I hope your feet have recovered, because it's time for you and all your friends to dance for the judges.
Dancing a line dance, the people of Nazareth.
aren't all great rhythm, and I love the sharpness of your footwork. But I'd like to have seen a little more hip action, especially from you in the front.
And Caesar, can you tell us what you thought?
Well, darlings, it was controlled. The moves were together, and it worked well as no some lay performance. I find it rather nauseating to be nice, but I thought it was terrific.
That's brilliant. How do you feel about the judge's comments? Are you happy?
I'm so happy. To hear comments like that makes it all worthwhile.
Bravo! Well, even though we are just scoring this event for fun, we all know deep down it's about the winning, right? Oh, sorry, my bad.
Judges, can we have your scores, please? Caesar?
9.
Innkeeper's wife?
8.
Donkey?
8.
Next up, well, what can I say? We are very lucky to have 2 particularly special guests in the audience with us tonight.
They're on that long journey to Bethlehem.
And of course, our story actually begins with them.
Would you all please welcome Joseph and his beautiful wife, Mary?
Joseph, welcome. Mary, you're looking wonderful. You're still glowing.
It's been an extraordinary time for you, hasn't it?
Yes, it has. It all started when Gabriel, the angel, came to visit me and told me that I had been chosen to carry God's son.
Ooh, that must have been a shock for both of you.
It was. I mean, I'm just an ordinary girl, but to be chosen for something like that, well, it's amazing, really an honor.
You were both on that journey from Nazareth to Bethlehem.
And of course, you were happily pregnant by then, weren't you, Mary?
Yes, that's right. I was due any day, but you really didn't have a choice. There was a time in my life where I'd climb and ask questions. Why me? A baby? Yet we danced through a journey called life and glide along the path that been set. This year has been tough. I can't deny it. Wouldn't you agree? This has been one of the strangest years ever, right?
Sorry, audience. What with a harmony rhythm? Mary can get a little philosophical. Anyways, like the good lady said, we have no choice. When Caesar decrees something, you just have to get on and do it.
Oh yes, you mustn't displease us, Steve.
Well, you're both looking very fresh now. Not too many sleepless nights after the baby, I hope.
Oh no, he's very good really.
The occasional backward for a burp, but you really can't complain. He is a special one indeed.
Mary and Joseph, it's been you, and we'll see you both a little later on.
But now, on with the show.
Next up, we have what I like to call a double trouble performance. It's rather cute, actually.
That's right, all the way from the east. Please welcome the charismatic Camel!
I know you've traveled a long way to be here tonight, but this is not your first time you've made this journey, is it?
It certainly isn't.
I remember we were relaxing in the desert when we were approached by 3 important looking men.
They told us they were very wise and had read a prophecy that a king would be born soon.
He wanted to go and worship him and said that the brightest star in the sky would lead them.
They had gifts of gold, frankincense, and myrrh to give to the newborn king, so they asked if we mind taking them.
It was pretty exciting, and to be honest, the desert was getting pretty boring, so we thought, why not?
The dude broke my back, eh? I carried 2, while this skinny Melanchi managed the other.
Well, we have a little surprise for you this evening. Stop fluttering your long camel lashes at me and close your eyes for a moment, please.
You've not seen each other since the epic journey a while ago. Yes, we've done it. We've made contact just for you.
Say hello to your old friends, the 3 wise men.
No way, Jose! I love Ellen Union!
Is he for real?
Dancing the camel pump. The camels are the wise men.
Holy schmoly, that was fun!
Straight in your
Crowns! Calm down! Shh! I think I'm getting too old for this. I nearly did my back in.
Lovely lady, tell me I'm impressed.
I sure was. We were all grooving away over here, weren't we?
We certainly were.
If only we could give scores. However, it's over to our judges.
I quite frankly thought it was appalling. You are all over the place, darlings. Legs, humps, and hoops flying around with no sense of time. I'm afraid you have all the coordination of a bucket of frog shine.
Oh dear, shame. That's a bit harsh, isn't it, Caesar?
Donkey, what did you think?
He's always so miserable. Has anyone ever told you that negativity this. I loved it. This dance is all about having a good time, and you certainly put the fun into funk.
That's more like it. Innkeeper's wife, what did you think?
Never mind the bucket of frogs. It was fun, fresh, and funky. I agree with Donkey.
Judges, could we have your scores, please? Caesar?
How one wishes he could give a negative number. 3.
Innkeeper's wife?
7.
Donkey?
8.
As we all know, the action wasn't just happening on the road that night.
Certainly not.
High up in the hills, some shepherds were minding their own business, watching the sheep happily grazing.
All was quiet, but suddenly the sky was filled with angels singing. And guess what? Right up our street, the angels were dancing too.
We are so delighted that they've agreed to perform that dance again for us this evening.
Performing the ballet dancing for us, a host of heavenly angels.
Magical. Surely our judges must have been impressed by that.
Caesar, what did you think?
Well, for once, I'm almost speechless. It flowed beautifully, and the extension in the arms was wonderful.
Well, you don't often get praise like that from Caesar. You do all look divine.
Innkeeper's wife, what did you think?
I agree. For me, ballet is danced in its most beautiful form, and I've never seen it more elegantly and eloquently performed.
And Donkey?
There's only one word for it.
Which is...
You can't guess. Must be on the tip of everyone's tongue. Give me strength. Fantabulously amazeballs, Rama!
Judges, could we have your scores, please? Caesar?
6.
Innkeeper's wife? 10. Donkey?
10.
Thank you so much, everybody. Give it up for the angelic angels.
Now, of course, the angels weren't just dancing for fun that night.
No, indeed, they had a very important message to deliver.
Yes, and who better to tell us about that very message than the very shepherds who were watching the angels perform?
Now, this has huge factor. Welcome, shepherds. Pray tell us a little about what happened that night.
Well, we were sitting on the hillside watching our flock. Pretty much a normal evening, really.
Feeding sheep.
Counting sheep, watching sheep.
Our line of work is pretty much sheep related.
I see, but something out of the ordinary happened that particular night, didn't it?
Oh yes, we fed the sheep, counted the sheep,
We were watching the sheep.
when all of a sudden the sky was filled with the most amazing lights.
Angels everywhere, singing, dancing, floating. It was out of this world.
And what were they saying?
They were telling us to travel to Bethlehem where we'll see the Son of God lying in a manger.
To be honest, we weren't sure at first. Everything sounded a little, sus. But the angels were quite persuasive.
So then we checked to see if the sheep were all okay, then we set off to Bethlehem. What an incredible experience!
Let's hope we can be as persuasive as them and ask you to dance for us tonight.
Dancing the shepherds, hey? The shepherds and their sheep.
dancers we've seen this evening, but it was a lot of fun, and I liked it.
And Caesar, dare we ask what your thoughts were?
What can I say? You looked a bit out of your comfort zones, a little clumsy. Don't give up the day's jobs.
Oh dear. Do you agree with that, innkeeper's wife? I certainly do not. I think it had a real rustic charm. I love the bells and all you young men leaping around. It was great.
It's time for the scores.
Judges, who we have the scores, please? Caesar?
4.
7. Donkey?
7.
To call our next dancer a mere celebrity simply does not do her justice.
To say she is famous is an understatement.
To describe her as a star, well, she is a true star.
That's right. Please give a very warm welcome to the Star of Bethlehem.
So, Star, could you shed some light on your part of the story?
Well, it was my job to guide the wise men to the place where baby Jesus was to be born.
And how did you do that?
Basically, I shone really bright as I possibly could. You see, I put the D in the dia. Oh, I mean diva. And I certainly put the D in the disco.
I see.
Right over this table so everyone could see me shine.
Great. And are you ready to dance with us this evening?
Oh yes, I certainly am. I got Baba and I got Boom. Dancers
to the max.
I'm completely with you, donkey.
Foot tapping.
Jive talking butt.
And Caesar, dare we ask you?
Give me big hair and some glitter, and I'm away. That was marvelous.
Well, that seems to have been a hit all around.
Let's go.
Can we have your scores, please? Caesar?
8.
Innkeeper's wife?
10.
Donkey?
9. We were just saying amongst ourselves that you really are a superb audience. Time to continue our story, the story. When Mary and Joseph reached Bethlehem, they needed to find a place to stay.
Not an easy thing to do in a town packed with newly arrived visitors.
And if you need somewhere to stay, we're gonna call
Innkeeper!
So, it was a pretty busy time for you, I understand.
See, that wasn't the half of it. The place was absolutely heaving.
There were people arriving from all over the country. Rich and poor. Some on horses and donkeys, but most had walked for miles.
Good for business, though.
It certainly was. I took more denarii in a month than I'd normally make in a year. We were even having to turn people away.
Well, that all sounds very hectic, but I hope you're calm and ready now. Time for our final act of the evening.
Dancing a tango, the innkeepers of Bethlehem.
My husband was one of the dancers. Did you see how he moved those hips? I thought you were fabulous, honey. I'm a big fan of the tango, but I'm afraid that had all the passion of a wet fish in a paper bag. The only part I really enjoyed was when it stopped.
I do not agree. I object. What an utter misery you are. Doom and gloom. The way you moved. You literally swept your partners across the floor. That was tango fandango.
Could we have your scores, please? Caesar?
4!
Innkeeper's wife?
10.
Donkey?
9!
But there was one special couple who had real trouble
place to stay, wasn't there? Can you tell us about them?
That's right. Mary and Joseph, who made their appearance earlier, arrived quite late in the evening and had tried everywhere else. I didn't have any more rooms left either, but I felt so sorry for them that I said if they didn't mind, they could stay right here in my stable.
And that was just the start of a remarkable night, wasn't it?
That's right. We'd arrived just in the nick of time. Mary's baby was born soon right after I'd settled them in.
And you had even more visitors soon after that, correct?
Correct. It was like my humble stable had become the biggest attraction in the whole of Bethlehem. The 3 wise men turned up asking to see the newborn king. They looked very noble and had brought gifts with them.
And then the shepherds turned up looking for the baby savior. We wondered what on earth was going on. So much fuss over a little baby. And then the shepherds turned up looking for the baby savior. We wondered what on earth was going on. So much fuss over a little baby.
But of course, that little baby is the real reason we are all here tonight. As we all know, he's no ordinary baby, and the news of his birth is spreading fast.
His name is Jesus, and he's been born to bring God's love to all of us.
Well, we hope you've enjoyed this evening. This has been the most incredible time for all of us.
Quite ironic that as we reach the end of our contest, it symbolizes the beginning of a new life and hope. Jesus' presence will be felt on the earth for thousands of years to come.
Indeed, he will change all our lives forever.
Hosts, a final performance from the 3 of you perhaps?
Oh goodness, like now?
Come on, guys, we got this.
The angel voice.
your voices all night, divine all night, when Christ was born, all night, divine all night, divine.
There's only one word for it.
It must be on the tip of your tongue, right, Caesar? Fantabulously amazeballs Rama!
Thank you so much for joining us tonight.
Let's celebrate the birth of the baby Jesus together with one more song.
The song is really simple and we hope you all join in.